And on to Times exclusive, Jairam Ramesh, the Union Environment Minister, has spoken exclusively to Times now on the nuclear park debate. Our political editor Navika Kumar now joins us with all the details.
Joining us today is Environment Minister Jairam Ramesh, and let's just ask him questions on this raging debate and protests on the ground on the nuclear plant in Jaitapur. Mr. Jairam Ramesh, you've written a letter to the Prime Minister raising fresh concerns about the Jaitapur plant. Some would call this a flip-flop by the Environment Ministry headed by you.
No. There's no flip-flop. On the 28th of November 2010, the ministry gave environmental clearance for the Jaitapur nuclear power park. Now then we had this horrendous catastrophe in Japan. Now in the wake of what happened in Fukushima, I think it is only natural and logical for me or for anybody in my position to raise a few questions. I believe in nuclear power. We need nuclear energy. Substantial increase in the contribution of nuclear power from its present measly level of about 3% to at least 6% by the year 2020 and about 12% by the year 2030. But it must be done in a manner that instills public trust, public confidence, and the safety issues that have come as a result of the Fukushima disaster have to be addressed. I have publicly said that we need to relook at the architecture of the Atomic Energy Regulatory Board to make it an independent organization, and I think government is thinking along those lines as well. Now Jaitapur has a peculiar architecture. There are 6 reactors, 6 1600 megawatt reactors, so almost 10,000 megawatts in one location. Now the safety systems have to be designed in a manner that they are individual safety systems, not interconnected, so that if one reactor gets, God forbid, something happens, then it doesn't trigger a chain reaction. So we must relook at some of these safety systems, the safety design, and also the fact is that we have an indigenous nuclear power program, the heavy water program. In the last heavy water moderated reactors in the last 5 years, our uranium reserves have virtually doubled, and therefore we can do now with a more aggressive program of capacity expansion based on indigenous reactors, not on imported reactors. And another issue, of course, is the fact that there are 2 reactors in India, Tarapur 1 and Tarapur 2, which are almost identical to what happened, the same reactors at Fukushima, of the same vintage, the same designer, GE, and therefore we need to draw the appropriate lessons from the Japanese disaster. So it's not a flip-flop like the Shiv Sena seems to be thinking. It's not a flip-flop. I'm calling for a deeper thinking on safety issues, on issues of how do we design these nuclear complexes. Remember, the number of sites is going to be limited. You need water, you need the sites close to sources of water, and therefore coastal locations will be preferred in the years to come. And it's easier to set up the parks, but at the same time we have to balance this with the type of concerns that have come after Fukushima. I don't think that we can be ostrich-like after Fukushima.
Mr. Jairam Ramesh, the real question here is that your critics say that the environment clearance that has been given in November last year is full of holes, and it is because of this that there is widespread concern over this project, which has resulted in protests on the ground in Jaitapur and Ratnagiri.
I think it's based on a complete misreading of the environmental approval process. Radioactive waste management, reactor safety, we are neither competent nor mandated to deal with these issues. These issues are dealt with by the Atomic Energy Regulatory Board. So the questions that have been raised by the critics of Jaitapur, the price of nuclear power, the safety of the Ariva reactors, the systems for radioactive waste disposal, these are not issues that the Ministry of Environment and Forests is either competent to deal with or mandated to deal with by law. We are dealing with conventional environmental issues in the Jaitapur complex or in any nuclear power complex for that matter. So the issues that have been raised by the public, legitimate issues, issues that must be addressed by the government, the economics of nuclear power, the safety of nuclear power, the risk associated with nuclear power, those are issues that have to be addressed by the Atomic Energy Regulatory Board. And let me say, what happened in Jaitapur, it's for the state government and for the NPCIL. There are issues of land compensation. There are issues of land acquisition, the type of compensation that is being paid for the land. Those are issues that have to be dealt with by the project authorities and by the state government. To put all the onus of what happened in Jaitapur on the Ministry of Environment and Forests, in my view, is most unfair and is most inaccurate as well.
But Mr. Jairam Ramesh, the question here is not as an environment minister, but as Jairam Ramesh the person. Do you think there is any need for a rethink on Jaitapur, especially after the way events have unfolded in Japan? Personally, how do you feel?
We must do a deeper thinking on our nuclear power profile. I have absolutely no doubt in saying that what nuclear power under the best of circumstances raises all sorts of safety questions in the minds of the public at large, and after what happened in Japan, particularly in a society like Japan, a very methodical, disciplined, well-engineered society as we all thought it to be, if it happened in Japan, just imagine what could happen in India. So Japan is a wake-up call. Chernobyl was a wake-up call. 3 Mile Island was a wake-up call. And I would be the first to say that the government must look at all these issues, the economics of nuclear power, the safety of nuclear power, the risks associated with nuclear power, the siting policy of nuclear power. We must constantly keep this under review. But what I do not agree with the critics of nuclear power, is to abandon the nuclear route altogether. That I see as a recipe for even greater disaster. So I don't think we should abandon the route. I think we should, I wouldn't say we should put a rewind button. I don't think we should even put the fast forward button. Perhaps we should put a little finger on the pause button and address some of these issues before we embark on a very ambitious capacity addition program. Let me also say, in the context of Jaitapur, I do want to say that unfortunately the issue has been politicized. I don't think that we should accept a situation where people who are protesting should be fired upon. I think this is abominable in a democracy, that people have every right to protest. Unfortunately, what happened in Jaitapur, the protests went haywire, public property was damaged, and unfortunately, one person died. I think it should not happen. It's a matter of great anguish. But I do want to remind the Shiv Sena, which is obviously spearheading this agitation, that when the Shiv Sena was out of power in the early 1990s, I recall a statement by the Shiv Sena leaders that they would throw Enron into the Arabian Sea. These were the exact words, that they will throw Enron into the Arabian Sea if they are elected. But they were elected in 1995, and the first thing that they did was to sign the agreement with Enron. So much for consistency of the Shiv Sena.
Mr. Jairam Ramesh, also the question of the Japanese ambassador who met you yesterday. Clearly, there seems to be an overhang of what happened in Japan, and probably some of these concerns would have figured in your meeting with the Japanese ambassador just yesterday.
Yeah, we have imposed almost 32 conditions on the environmental clearance that was given to Jaitapur on November 28th, and NPCIL is working on these conditions, on the implementation of these conditions, the impact on marine biodiversity, the impact of fishing communities, for example. These are two very important issues, and I would be the first in my speaking order on Jaitapur, which was made public. I had articulated these concerns, and I had suggested a series of measures for NPCIL to take, which I'm given to understand that they have taken. So I think we should, well, in light of Japan, clearly, the issues of safety, the NPCIL has conducted a safety audit. I have set up an expert committee in my ministry under the chairmanship of Dr. Muthunayagan, a very distinguished scientist, and they are going to look at what additional systems that we need to put in place as part of the environmental appraisal process, for coastal locations, for tsunamis and other catastrophes. Dr. Swaminathan, for example, has written to me saying that we must make greater use of bioshields around Kalpakam, around Kudankulam, which are the two coastal locations in Tamil Nadu where we have nuclear power plants. So whether we need bioshields, whether we need more wall-type protective structures, how do we introduce individual safety systems as opposed to interconnected safety systems? These are all issues that come up in the wake of Japan. And I'm sure that the atomic energy establishment, which is as concerned about safety as anybody else, I don't think in any society, particularly in an open democratic society like ours, we can just ignore the concerns of people. We must take them on board. And I would be the first to say, if it means a few more months, let's take those months and assuage the public fears and concerns in an open, in a consultative and a participative manner.
Thank you very much for joining us with those views on the Jaitapur project. Mr. Jairam Ramesh, Environment Minister, joining us exclusively here on Times Now. Back to you, Deep.